You have got to get your own house in order. Once your house is in order, then all those things you can deploy. But until your house is in order, you're always going to struggle. And this is why some of you just can't, I don't understand. I do, because you're not being congruent.
Hi, this is Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to the Magellan Network Show. My goal inside of this communication, this show, is to share with you my nearly 30 years of coaching some of the most successful financial advisors in North America. We're going to be talking about strategies, syntaxes. We're going to be bringing guests on from time to time, and I'm going to share with you what's working now. So think of this show as sort of like a little one-on-one kind of mini coaching cast, if you like, where we're going to be going in depth from time to time on strategies to help you grow your business, get more effective, become more efficient, find balance in your time management, grow your business, and quite frankly, whatever else is going on in the world today. So before we get to today's episode, I'd love for you to do a couple things for me. Number one, make sure that if you're watching this on YouTube, that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're doing the audio, make sure that you give us a review on whether it's Spotify or Apple. We'd really appreciate that. And quite frankly, that does help. It does matter when you rate things and like things and subscribe to things. It helps us get the word out to more of the industry. And lastly, I have a very special gift for you. Go to MagellanNetwork.net, so one word, MagellanNetwork.net, and I have for you a complimentary membership, 100% gratis, where you can tap into about between 50 and 75 hours of masterclasses, forms, tools, templates, and strategies. So please go ahead and make sure you go ahead and get that claimed. Smash the like button and subscribe. And please go ahead and leave us a review on whatever podcasting platform you're on. And now, let's get to this week's episode. Hi, it's your coach, Joe Lucas, and welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. This week, I want to do something a little bit different, and I want to kind of share with you a conversation I had with a prospect, an advisor who was referred to me, successful in terms of economically good business, stuff like that. But I want to kind of paraphrase a conversation I had, because I want to demonstrate to each and every one of you, in my mind, why our industry is the stepchild or the prototype for the cobbler's kid who has no shoes. And I'll explain that statement in a minute. So a couple weeks ago, I got referred to this advisor. They reached out to me, and most of you know this, some of you don't. Any advisor can have 30 minutes with me. No questions asked. It's something I've done for decades. I enjoy the interaction. Just go to coachjoe.guru and you'll find the button there to go make that happen. So this advisor goes there on a recommendation, hits it up. People appear in my calendar, right? And we get on the Zoom and I start talking, and really great guy. Deals with business owners primarily, with an area which I really, really love for advisors to specialize in. I think it's a woefully underserved marketplace with a lot of opportunity. And so he and I are talking, and I start saying, well, look, I want to ask you some questions. This is more about my curiosity. When I give you these questions, I'm going to demonstrate to you why you and I need to maybe have future conversations. So he said, it's fine. I said, what do you want to know? And I'm going to lay out a scenario for you guys, and this is what I did with him. So I gave him a situation that, let's just say that I was a prospect and I was looking for an advisor, and I was a business owner, and I was a real successful business owner, right? So I would be like a AAA ideal client to this advisor. So I said, hey, I'm willing to pay you a $5,000 a month retainer, and because he does business consulting, that's when we're not going to muddy this conversation. That's a whole different episode probably. And he said, I'm willing to pay you $5,000 retainer to be my personal CFO, get me inside your virtual family office. I've got, your 401k plan you can have. I got a couple $1 million over at XYZ firm. I'll transfer that to you, stuff like that. But I have a couple questions for you. I said, question number one. You said to me when we were talking that first order of business, we're going to do a financial plan. I said, great. Show me the first page of yours. Right? Then I said, show me the first page of your business plan. And tell me the last time you looked at your quarterly P&L. So if you can check those 3 boxes for me, I'll sign right now. So I go to him, I said, could you meet that criteria? He goes, no. I go, okay, walk me through it. He goes, well, I don't have my own financial plan. I said, but you're planning centric. Like you tell all your prospects, all clients, say, one of the things we want to do is we want to have, we want to get a financial plan done, right? Well, but you don't have your own. That's incongruent, right? The next thing I said, you want to help business owners. This guy's independent. Hey, you're a business owner. Why don't you have a business plan? Well, I've been too busy. Right? So is that what you want your prospects to tell you? Hey, I'd love to hire you, man, but I'm too busy. And then I said, you're running the business P&L. Well, hey, do you do your own tax planning? I put this out there, and here's what, and not to embarrass him, but to really put in front of him, like shine a light on it, that as an industry, this is not about him, this one individual advisor. This is my indictment of our space, basically, that most advisors, and I don't have any data, and nor am I going to sit there and figure it out, but I know it's well over 50%. My fear is probably 70, 80%. I don't care if you're independent or not. So on the financial plan, if you're recommending financial planning to your clients, you better damn well have your own plan. Whether you do it yourself or you hire a colleague, doesn't matter. And I know some of you are going to sit there and say, well, Joe, I'm just starting out. I don't have a lot of money. I don't care. Do it. How can you value something if you've not done it? How can you? How can you come from a place of power and congruency if you've not done it? How can you bear witness to it if you've not experienced it? Right? Now, if you're a business owner advisor, like independent, then to me it's a lot higher. And it shocks me how many advisors in my career I've run across who have run into problems with the IRS because they didn't do their own tax planning. Oh, Joe, like I'm in a real cash crunch right now. I just got my tax bill. Well, how the hell did that happen? You're talking about tax planning for your clients and you didn't do it for yourself? Like, what is going on here, right? And I just think our profession suffers from a bit of an identity crisis with this. Let's just say you woke up one day and you say, you know what? I got to go get myself like one of those personal trainer fitness people. I want to get healthier. I want to get fitter, right? And, you start looking around and maybe you visit a local gym and there's a guy there. It could be a gal, doesn't matter, right? And, hey, yeah, I'm the gym owner here. And this guy looks like, I don't know, 100 pounds overweight. Definitely not the antithesis of healthy, right? Oh yeah, I'm also a certified personal trainer. Your brain would not allow you to sign up with that person because you'd be yelling at you, how can this person help me? They haven't helped themselves. How can I take advice and guidance from that person who is not taking their own advice and guidance? Right? But isn't that the game we play? At least a lot of you play that same game. You will recommend financial planning when you don't have your own. You will recommend, you go to business owners, say, let me help you grow your business. Let's do some tax planning. Let's do all these other things, but you haven't done it for yourself. And you wonder why sometimes you struggle. Hi, Coach Joe Lukacs here, and I'm just breaking here for a moment just to do a couple quick reminders. Number one, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel or our podcast. In addition, please leave a comment or a review. Those things really, really matter. And share this episode with 3 of your colleagues inside the financial services space. And lastly, make sure that you go ahead and claim your free membership inside of Magellan Network. Now back to this week's episode. And I'm not going to get too deep in this today, but human beings are very, very sensitive subconsciously, right, to incongruencies when the vibrations don't match and it just feels off, right? And how many times have you engaged in a conversation? Maybe you're trying to acquire something, purchase something, and you're having a conversation with the person who's representing whatever it is that you're looking to acquire, and it just doesn't feel right.
You can't sit there and say, well, here's why. Man, I didn't get a good feel for that. I didn't get a good sense around that. Or it just didn't feel right to me. That's your subconscious saying, hey, something's mismatched here. When you've got a prospect and they need your help and it's like, everything sounds good, then they're like, well, I don't know, let me think about it. And you're like, well, how did that happen? Your incongruencies, they felt those. And it caused them to pause. And I use that example whenever I get in front of an advisor. Hey, give me your AAA client. Okay, I'm one of those. Here's the things I need, right? And if you're like a firm wirehouse person, hey, show me a list of where you want to be in 10 years. Show me. I only see the detail. Hey, show me your financial plan, just like you have one, right? And show me like a 5-year game plan, some of your personal and professional goals, right? I don't need to read. Show me you have them, right? And then show me those 2 things that will do business, right? How many of you can really pass that test? I've been at this 30 years. This is not like I see this once in a while. Like I see this all the time. So what I'm saying to everybody who's watching and listening to me, depending on the modality you're consuming my content this week, like we got to get serious, people. Right? Now, I know some of you are saying, because I know how the mind works, right? Well, Joe, how about you, man? You're like this, high-end coach, and you've been doing this for 30 years. Like, do you eat your own cooking? I will invest over 6 figures this year in Ed Milet, Bo Eason, strategic coach, Ben Hardy. Like, I eat my own cooking. Okay? I do. I can go and say, yeah, I've got 3 or 4 coaches I work with. This is this. And I can speak from a place of power and a place of congruency. Right? So when I say to an advisor, hey, look, every advisor needs a coach. The question is, am I the right one for you? Right? I can say that with absolute congruency. Power. Because I don't have any incongruencies when it comes to it. A lot of you are trying to figure out how to grow your business and get to the next level, and that's the game, right? That's always the game here. Part of the reason why you're struggling is you have some incongruencies in your world, and that's causing you, even though you might think about it consciously, you kind of know, we hear that term imposter syndrome, right? Well, part of the evidence with advisors specifically is they don't take their own advice. They don't do their own planning. They don't do tax planning. They don't run their business as a business. Their checking accounts are all jacked up. Their office is all jacked up. They're unorganized, stuff like that. But hey, please give me your $2 million, man. We'll rock start that for you. It just doesn't compute. So for some of you, you don't need the next silver bullet. You don't need the next slick marketing thing or what AI is doing in terms of content. Like, you don't need any of that right now. You have got to get your own house in order. Once your house is in order, then all those things you can deploy. But until your house is in order, you're always going to struggle. And this is why some of you just can't, I don't understand. I do. Because you're not being congruent. And you definitely have some imposter syndrome going on because you're recommending things. It could be like a person owning a steakhouse who's a vegetarian. I mean, I guess that's possible, right? Would that be probably a good thing? Probably not, right? They don't eat their own cooking, right? And on and on and on. And the fitness trainer is the best example. I mean, you can use any of those. You go to the doctor, you go to any aging doctor, and the doctor looks like they're like 2 days from the coffin. Well, that's probably not the person I'm going to retain to try and make me live another 20 years, right? Just true. We all have those biases. Your prospects have those biases. So if you want to come from a place of ultimate power, get your house in order. If you want to commit to being your best, this is part of that commitment. Get this done. Get this done between now and the end of the year. Get these projects done so you go into 2025 with power, congruency, integrity, and you move the needle. Now next week, which I guess will be almost a Halloween episode, which I will not get dressed up. I don't do that. We're going to start talking about next year. It's planning season. We're launching our Magellan Vision 10X planning process for the upcoming year, an updated version. You'll get some links on that next week, so be on the lookout for that. If you're a member of Magellan Network, you want to take advantage of your very, very cool and special enrollment investment, so take advantage of that if you're already a member. And I'd like to know what you guys think about this. Comment below or make a comment if you're doing this on YouTube, or just reach out to me. I'd like to know, do you think I'm like crazy? This is what I've seen over and over again. Advisors that have IRS liens and their wages are close to being like all these things that you're supposed to help people do, and you don't do it for yourself. What's the old saying? Oh, put your mask on first before assisting the person next to you. Well, there's never a truer statement than this, right, when it comes to it. So I just want to share that with you guys. A little ranty, I understand that, but I'm passionate about it. This really is like my sensitive nerve third rail thing, this incongruency. So please, 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 if you're one of these advisors, you totally can fix this. Just do the projects, right? You're going to feel better. You're just going to feel different. Like, yeah, now I'm walking my talk, right? Otherwise, you're just talking to talk to other people and just hopefully they don't look at you. All right? So thanks for watching. Forward this episode to your friends. Like this video if you're on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. And get some feedback. So if you're doing any of the podcast, leave a review. That really does help me in our rankings, especially because we're very niched here. This is not the Joe Rogan podcast, obviously. And I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, if any of this resonated with you, I invite you to come to MagellanNetwork.net, and we have a powerful group coaching community of like-minded advisors. Come in for a trial. You and I will have a one-on-one conversation. Let's see if I can help elevate your game, both personally and professionally.